want to savor every bite that is my Parisian feast. It would have to last me the rest of my life, because who knows when I'll be back? Who knows when I'll have this time again? Oh, I could go back when I'm retired, rent an apartment for a year, but I'll be older and weaker. I still have energy now. I can walk miles and miles every day. Paris takes some energy. Up and down metro stairs. Cobblestones need to be defeated. It is a city for a Flâneuse, a wanderer like me. Today is a beautiful day in Paris. It feels like summer. The sun is out, and now that I've done everything on my list. Yes, I'm on vacation, but there's always a list. I am checking things off every day. I try not to be in too much of a hurry. So I wander at my leisure, and today I wander by the Seine. I packed a picnic. Hard-boiled eggs, prosciutto, cheese, nuts, my thumbprint cookies from the night before, mint tea, and of course, chocolate. I went back to Square du Vert Galant. I wanted to picnic by Pont Neuf, by the Seine. It was the perfect place on Ile de la Cité. Neither the left bank nor the right, but right in the middle. It was such a feast of food, sight, and senses. Blue skies, deep waters, and the sunshine. I'm getting quite brown sitting in the sun. I will enjoy it as the rain is coming. Afterwards, I went to the Musée de la Magie, the Magic Museum. It was delightful. The history of magic with a magic show done by this strange little man with maniacal eyes, black brows, and long gray hair. It was all artfully done, graceful sleight of hand. I felt like a kid again, especially since I was surrounded by school children. After Musée de la Magie, I walked to Bibliotheque Forney, a block or two away, housed in a medieval building with stone turrets and buttresses and the like. It was a castle with giant red doors. I was only able to peek in their great reading room, which is large and whose most notable feature is a Gothic stone partition between two levels and a great glass door with brass lizards for handles. Apparently, the French seer Nostradamus stayed here upon being summoned by the Queen, Catherine de' Medici, who was fascinated with his prophecies. She had him draw up horoscopes for her children and consulted him regarding predictions of her family's political future. In the present day, the Forney Library specializes in art books and frequently hosts free art shows. When I visited, there was an exhibit dedicated to Geo Fourier. Still wanting more of this blessed sun, I went around to their manicured garden with topiaries and flowering trees and shrubs landscaped to form geometric patterns. With a view of the medieval library, I sat on a bench and snacked on some nuts, chocolate, and the rest of my mint tea. I am turning even browner here in Paris. I considered going home. getting an early night in, a real one, where I'm in bed and asleep and all my tasks done at a reasonable hour. Making dinner, lunch for the next day, laundry, cleaning up. But the sun would not relinquish me. To an outdoor cafe, I decided, where I could write and enjoy the sun, enjoy Paris and Parisians. La Tartine was on my list and nearby, so that's where I went. Squeezed into the only remaining table outside and ordered my café décaféiné and started writing. People around me left and I kept writing, lost in thought, warming myself some more. And then a man sits near, though not next to me, an empty table between us. He has long strawberry blonde hair, unruly, glasses, pale face reddened by the sun. He interrupts me and politely asks if he can take my picture. I see the black camera on the table, and although I know nothing of such things, I could tell it was high-end, classic, and a photographer's camera, though not those gigantic DSLRs. Perhaps it was Paris exerting its charm on me, but I relented. I thought it was just 1 or 2 photos, but quite a few he took, asking me to look this way and that, where to turn my face, how to place my hands. I wanted to please him, not because I wanted him to like me, but because I know how it is to have a vision in your head and how you want to bring it out into a form of expression that is tangible. He's famous, he said, shows me his Instagram. A war photojournalist, though he doesn't care if I know him or not. I did not know of him, I say apologetically. I do not care for his fame, but I care that he gets the picture that he wants. He would interrupt our conversation often to grab his camera and take my photo. For he has glimpsed something in my face, my posture, the way the light has hit me. I do not know if he got what he wanted, but he certainly took enough photos, and people strolling by kept looking at us. Posing is tedious, and that's why I don't like it. All he really wanted was some essence of me he saw as he was in a cab passing by while he spied me sitting in a Parisian cafe, then jumped out. Not me at all, but the image, the story he conjured in his head while he got out and approached me. I think it was mostly Paris. Who wouldn't look enigmatic in this most beautiful of cities? "What were you writing?" he asked. "Is it a journal?" "Yes," I replied. "I want to document my time here. I can sense it isn't me, or not wanting to get to know me, but to make me feel at ease. Get a little of my story out." And that's how I could tell he was a real photographer. That and the Leica. I submitted to his gentle will and let him pose me the way he wanted. While we were talking, another man approached and, interrupting us, asked if I would have a drink with him. I declined politely, but could tell the photographer was upset. "He acted like I wasn't even there," the photographer said after the man left. I can feel his dissatisfaction until at last he takes the photo that pleases him and he shows it to me. My face partly obscured by my floppy hat, my hands somewhat graceful but not posed. Perhaps it was an elaborate ploy. I do not know. We'll see what he emails me. But his Instagram, which appeared to be his, had a following in the thousands and showed a series of beautiful black and white photos. After he left, I started thinking about photographs and the taking of them. How earlier in the day, after Square du Vert Galant, I was walking by the Seine to Musée de la Magie and chanced upon a small bookstore. I started filming it, but didn't enter yet. The shop lady looked at me and something about her face looked hostile. "You fume?" she asked. I stood uncertainly in the doorway. "Yes," I said, "but I'll stop." And I put my phone away. "It's okay," she said brusquely. But ask first." "I'm sorry," I said, "then merci," and walked out. However, later, as I was walking to La Tartine, I spied some artwork on a wall. I started filming it, for it looked interesting. A man approached me and asked, "Is this your work?" I laughed at the notion and said no, shook my head. I filmed for a bit, then continued on my way, but as I turned to keep walking, I saw with some dismay that the man was taking photographs of me. I got a taste of my own medicine, and I did not like it one bit. Then, of course, the war photographer chanced upon me, and I allowed him to take my picture. It was an odd yet somehow connected chain of events.
It is your work?
No. I'm not Raoul.
Whose gaze was legitimate? Mine? The photojournalist? The man on the street? So ends the first day of my last month. June, let me feast on your summer ripeness. On to a new notebook.